So thank you very much for welcoming us today also, and thank you for the opportunity to QED, because it's very great to be able to speak about FinTech today and also what could be the future. I will speak in my personal capacity, if I may, because we are still discussing this topic at the European Banking Federation with members, and of course we don't have any stabilized position at this stage, if I may say. However, we are discussing a lot. It's of course part of many discussions with the banking sector, with banks, with even partners, and so that's why I will be able to give you some views today. So I would start first to give some examples of maybe some challenges for the banking sector today. Before the iPhone or Androids, you have seen that BlackBerry was the dominant mobile device for businesses. The original BlackBerry was fantastic for emails, calendar, contacts, and then after a mobile application delivery platform arrived, and then iPhone and smartphones, of course, came, and we see today that they are impacting businesses, and of course, they are also, this impact of intermediation is also impacting the banking sector today. Now we see also that the game changer, even if it's brands leveraging, the user experience, it's key. It's key for banks, it's key for their clients. So intermediation could be seen as a challenge. However, banks invest a lot, as it has been said, and they take this challenge, if we can talk about the challenge, very seriously. Because for them, what is very important is consumer satisfaction, to maintain it very high. So we would like to have continue the business with our clients, and would like them to continue banking with us. But I would react to what Peter said, because he talked about finance, which could be boring. I would say banks, if I may say, are not boring anymore. They are innovative today. We had several examples, but I'm glad also to say that financial services are, in a sense, perfect to deliver online, meaning that banks contribute in many ways to the new digital ecosystems. Of course, we can see on everything it's on our mobile phone today. Our banks is here. So we can have access to payments 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So innovative products are at the heart of the banking sector: apps, biometrics, ATM, solutions, and now instant payments. So banks work hard, also invest a lot. We have seen in the study in 2015 that they plan to invest for 2018 62 billion in IT. We had different figures, but we all agree that it's a big investment from the banking sector as well. And innovation is key, definitely, and they invest also in FinTech. Definitely. Why? Because who knows who will be the next Google? We don't know. But so banks are investing in every fintechs, and the figures attested that it was very important. So I would not say, because sometimes banks are perceived as very defensive, even against fintech, against competition. I would not say that today. Of course, we recognize them as competitors as well, but we see them more as collaborative partners. They are very much favoring partnerships now, and also it's very important to think about what banks are doing. They are also creating like fintech platforms, also fintech labs, so they work together with the fintechs. And it's also important to keep in mind their traditional role, the financing role. They invest, they finance growth, they are an engine for growth, and finance SMEs. We have seen some examples. Spanish SMEs has been financed by banks to reach their Horizon 2020 goals, and also to help them to recruit engineers. So I would say, like, disintermediation could be a potential challenge, but banks are innovative. What is very interesting for us today, it's also to look at how to ensure the right conditions for innovation to thrive, for banks, for FinTech as well. So what is very important is to enable banks to provide innovative products to enhance EU competitiveness. Banks should be allowed to develop activities beyond their traditional models and continue to be competitive and also look beyond their sector. Because today we are not talking about the sector. Sector could be seen as something from the past. It's more a service, what we are looking for. It's also about to avoid limitation to the development of partnerships with FinTech companies. Banks are keen to see FinTech to develop their activities. Why? Because they are seen as complementary today. They're conducting maybe activities which are conducted in-house by banks. And the banks see that as an opportunity. Of course, there are also competitors, but most of the banks now see that as an opportunity. And today I even heard CEOs telling that we love FinTech. Why? Because they are helping also to bring more competition. Why? Because when we are thinking about PayPal, there were of course, disruptions. Banks were very worried, but they thought about new solutions. And I can give you an example of German banks who try to work together and bring Pay Direct as now a new tool, a new service. So that's something which show that, okay, we are not against FinTech, it's an innovative partner and can help also for competition. Another example is also about collaboration with as regards distributed ledger technology, as it has been mentioned. Of course, it's difficult to predict the future. It's important to look at the innovation, but also to understand better this technology before acting. That's, of course, our point of view. And I guess we would agree with the importance of monitoring this issue. But what we would like to stress as regards this issue is to have a close cooperation between the banking, FinTech, regulators, and the governments in general, because it's important to see the impact and rather focus on the relationship between consumers and the service providers. Another point it's important to keep in mind is that we're talking a lot about peer-to-peer lending. It's an alternative. It's a positive thing. However, we need to be aware of the risk. So security aspect, make sure that there is a right balance between the development of innovative customer experience and data protection and security should be kept in mind as well. Our views is that we need, for the same services, the same rules, irrespective of the type of the company, the type of the sector, or the location. That's clear. I think it's a case for every company. So it should not be seen as, okay, the banking sector only should apply specific rules. Of course, if it's in the context of very much financial services sector regulation, we understand that. But for digital, we are not talking about a sector anymore. So we've seen some priority issues, and it's important to make sure that the digital environment is fit for purpose for the banking sector as well, meaning that they are adapted to the digital reality. The global perspective is very key as well, and we see for accounting rules for intangible assets, that could be a problem. We see why, because we see a difference between the EU and the US regarding capital requirements, consumption for investment in software, meaning that banks are not able to invest as much as they would like in software because it's kept in the scope of the capital requirements. We would like also to invite maybe the regulators, the institutions, to look at new ways of providing regulatory flexibility for more innovation. An example was provided by Dan. It was about the UK FCA initiative on sandboxes. So we believe that maybe it could be good to have an overview about an experimentation space for the companies to innovate. So a safe space for businesses to for testing the innovative products and services. So as a conclusion, the key findings would be banks are innovative, as you have understood. They should be seen as a key partner with FinTech. They are also, we see FinTech not only as a competitor, but as a collaborative partner. Also, they could be work together with banks as a partnership. Banks are ready to finance them or even make them part of the banks sometimes. It's also important to ensure the right condition for innovation to thrive, meaning enable banks to provide innovative products to enhance EU competitiveness, unlimit the developments of collaboration partnerships with FinTech companies, and last point, same services, same rules, irrespective of company type, sector, location. But please don't forget, the discussion of today is about innovation, capacity to innovate, but also to preserve trust and favor customer experience.